whether it was a personal account or a government account. I did not send classified material, and I did not receive any material that was marked or designated classified.
More from yesterday's press conference with Hillary Clinton. Mrs. Clinton, of course, frustrated at several points during that discussion with the press, but she insists she did not send or receive any classified material via email. True or not, a new CNN poll shows that Donald Trump is closing in on the Democratic frontrunner, Trump gaining favorability among not just Republican voters, but all registered voters. Take a look. If the election was held today, yes, Hillary would have 51%, but now 45% say they would go for Donald Trump. Just a margin of 6%, and that is a stark difference to what polls indicated a couple of weeks ago. Well, let's get some words to go with those numbers and turn to our political panel. From Newsmax New York, we welcome in government relations strategist and attorney Brad Gerstman, and from Newsmax Washington, noted Republican strategist Ford O'Connell. Gentlemen, we really appreciate you spending some time with us here on Newsmax Prime. Ford, yes, Hillary's ahead by 6 points, but the momentum seems to be with Mr. Trump.
It absolutely is. He was actually down 16 points just a month ago. He's fired up the grassroots on the Republican side, and a lot of people are interested in the fact that he wants to buck the status quo, and he doesn't want to do business as usual in Washington, and he's getting a lot of people's attention. And if this momentum keeps going, he could be in a head-to-head, neck-and-neck tie with her.
Brad, I know you're going to say, hey, Hillary's still ahead with all the trouble, but this loss of momentum and yesterday's press conference have to be concerning to Democrats.
Well, I certainly don't think this poll about Donald Trump is concerning to Democrats at all. I think Democrats want to see more activity from Donald Trump. They want to see him rise in the polls. They want to see him continue to do all the things that he's doing, because that will lend itself to a landslide victory by Hillary Clinton. So I think I agree with everything that's been said so far, but I think it all plays in favor of Hillary, despite what the current poll says. We're too far away from an election.
I totally disagree with you. Let me say
Democrat
this one
versus
point,
Republican.
Brad.
Brad, finish your thought.
She is actually damaging herself more with her flippant non-responses on the email than anything the Republicans could ever dream of. I don't know how she can continue to stonewall for the next 400 days. She's in real trouble, and the only person who's going to defeat Hillary in this election is Hillary.
What about that, Brad?
Well, Hillary, I mean, look, the Republicans are outstanding at continuing to bring up issues that are not issues. I mean, we have to, at some point, take a person for their word where they say there was no classified information on any of those emails. The Republicans are still fighting Obamacare, despite its great success. The Republicans are still bringing up everything from Whitewater to anything they can dredge up. Right-wing conspiracy, you know what? That's out of your mouth, not mine. What I'm just saying is that Republicans are broken records when it comes to this kind of stuff, and they're great at continuing to bring up things that really are yesteryear.
What about it, Ford?
And my point is very simple. When 57% of Americans find her dishonest and untrustworthy, and that number continues to rise, and her favorables are below 40%, it won't matter if the Republicans discuss who actually shot Kennedy on the grassy knoll in Dallas. She's her own worst enemy, and that's what she has to contend with, and it's making Democrats nervous.
The other thing, Brad,
that speaks to every candidate anyway. Every candidate is their own. So that's a great talking point. I mean, I hear that all the time. It's their worst enemy. When the Republicans had the clown show in the last cycle, each one were their own worst enemy. Each one, their own debacle was what caused them to fall out of the race, and that's what always happens. So yeah, is Hillary her own worst enemy? Yeah, and so is anyone else. If Biden gets in, he'll be his own worst enemy. So I love the talking points from the Republicans.
Well, but that's a universal thing, and the same thing would be pointed out. Now let me move to another topic and stay with Donald Trump, specifically his immigration plan. A lot of concern about his plan to change the 14th Amendment. Of course, Section 5 there says that Congress, by appropriate legislation, can make a change. Trump says he doesn't believe people born in the United States to illegal aliens should be American citizens. Ford, is that going to hurt him?
It depends how he plays this. As long as he tells people that currently have citizenship that it won't be revoked, should this be overturned by the Supreme Court or overturned by a constitutional amendment, he is fine. But I have to tell people, most legal scholars, this is not settled business. And given how the Supreme Court has been going over the last few cases, anything could happen. You know, it's a small chance that this will be overturned, but there is some actual wiggle room, to Donald Trump's point.
And in terms of the politics of immigration, Brad, your take on the Trump plan vis-a-vis the Democrats?
Well, I think the Trump plan, again, is terrific, and I think all the Republicans should follow it. And I think this is a great way to lead Hillary to a victory. And if any Republican denies that, their whole idea, their whole concept, their whole recreation of the party after the last election was that they were going to broaden the tent, they were going to bring more people under, target specifically the Hispanics. Well, they're doing such a wonderful job. I mean, for an organization like the Republicans, who are usually so rank and file and they're always so disciplined in their approach to things, and I actually give them credit for that. They've become very undisciplined in following their own rules in terms of how they want to run their candidates in this cycle. So this is not something that is that I find a surprise. I think they should continue moving to the right where the public isn't, and this would be a great thing for Democrats.
We'll see where the public ends up. For now, Brad Gerstman, Ford O'Connell, you have our thanks. The cap that Donald Trump has been wearing on the campaign trail and at campaign stops, blazing out his Make America Great Again slogan, has become a sensation. Now you can get your very own Make America Great Again cap, a $25 value, free with this offer. All you have to do is pay shipping and handling. Go to newsmax.com/TrumpCap or call 1-800-933-8396. That number again, 1-800-933-8396. More to come after the break, so stay tuned. You're watching Newsmax Prime on Newsmax TV.